So while today is a day to honor our special donors, as you know, it wouldn't be possible for WUSF to broadcast or hold an event without our corporate sponsors. We couldn't be more pleased that today's brunch is made possible by the first corporate sponsor ever heard on WUSF. And you can say this with me because I know you know. Trenholm, Kemker, Scharf, Barkin, Fry, O'Neill, and Mullis. 27 years it's been since Trenholm Kemker has been on the air at WUSF, even when we haven't pronounced their names correctly. Hal Mullis is the president of Trenholm Kemker and a founding member of the firm. He's also on the board of trustees of USF, and I'm pleased to introduce a great friend of the station and our sponsor this morning, Mr. Hal Mullis.
Thank you, Joanne, and what a pleasure it is to be here on such a special occasion, celebrating 50 years, a half century of service and contributions to our communities. Founded in 1963, Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle were playing baseball in 1963. Phillips introduced the audio cassette in 1963. And importantly, in 1963, 250,000 people participated in the Civil Rights March on Washington and heard Martin Luther King deliver his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. And in 1963, I was a junior in college with a full head of hair. So this is a graphic demonstration of just how long it's been. Our firm made a humble beginning in 1970, 7 years after USF started its operations in the basement of the original USF library. We were both much smaller. 27 or 30 years ago, it's impossible for us to pinpoint exactly how long our relationship has been established. But a long time ago, we were both much smaller when we began discussing the opportunities for corporate sponsorship of WUSF. It was a new concept to the station at the time. There were no corporate sponsors. There was no history or model to inform us what to expect out of the sort of relationship that we were establishing at the time. But community support and community involvement were core values of both our organizations. And we sensed then that WUSF was an absolutely unique asset in this community, that it possessed enormous potential to contribute and enrich the cultural and the intellectual life of our communities. And we also decided that because of those things, that they certainly deserved what support we could provide at that time. So we signed up then, some 27 or 30 years ago, as the first corporate sponsor, and boy, were we right about what WUSF would mean to these communities. What we didn't anticipate at the outset of our relationship were the fringe benefits of the association with WUSF. At business and civic meetings and at cocktail parties, people began to come up to our lawyers and briskly announce, as we just did a moment ago, the full firm name. Part of it, I think, was to demonstrate their powers of memory, but mostly it was to validate themselves as regular and loyal listeners to WUSF and public radio. Very quickly, our support of WUSF became an important and enduring hallmark of our firm, which it still is today. So today, some 30 years later, we are privileged and grateful for our relationship with WUSF. Joanne, congratulations to you and your team and to your very important predecessors for all that's been accomplished during this 50 years. Thank you for WUSF's impactful and continuing contributions to our communities. Keep it up, and happy anniversary from an old friend. Thank you.